This is Tima Deryan, first Lebanese woman who climbed Everest, right? That's the title I got. So I'm here because of that, and I'm going to be sharing my experience with a Nibras student. Super excited to meet the kids. They told me there's a room full of high school children. So inspiring youth is one of my main course, and I cannot wait to do that right now. So enough for now, let's go and meet the kids. Today I'm going to discuss the mountain gypsy, which is me on the mountains, and I'm going to share with you my story and tell you how I made it to Everest. So I became the first Lebanese woman last year and the youngest Arab to summit the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, which is at 8,848 meters. I did the research. I went online, I looked up the motivational speaker, and I spammed him with messages saying, how can I climb Everest? Tell me how can I do it? So we had a Skype call, and he told me it takes around 2 months. It's where the airplane flies, so around 29,000 feet. There is lack of oxygen up there. Temperature drops to below 40. You need to be prepared, you need to have experience. So they sent me a list of equipment that I've never seen in my life, like some sharp things and some ice axe. I'm like, what is this? Like, where am I going, to war? My friends thought it was a bad idea. My mentor said no. Everything was saying no, but I still wanted to go. So why does it take a lot to climb a mountain? So Everest took 2 months. Other mountains took me 20 days. Some mountains took me a month, some a week. And this process, there's something called the acclimatization. So first, the altitude. The altitude is one of the biggest factors on high altitude mountains because the higher you go, the lower the oxygen gets and the lower the temperature drops. Our bodies are not made for this environment, so we need to acclimatize. When we acclimatize, we climb high and then we sleep low. So on Everest, what was happening was multiple rotations. We go from 5,600 meters, which is base camp where I was living at, and then we go all the way up to 6,000, and then we come back down after a day. And then we go up again to 6,500, we sleep there, and then we come back down. This process increases the red blood cells in our system. When those red blood cells increases, our body is automatically adjusting to the lack of oxygen. So what feels like 1 kilo and then feels suddenly 10 kilos, it feels something about 5 kilos now because we're getting used to the lack of oxygen and our system is functioning with that. So we went to camp 1, we went to camp 2, and then we went to camp 3 at 6,000 meters. So we usually wake up at like 12 a.m. in the morning, dress up and get out before the snow starts melting and the ice starts falling, while everything is still hard. And that's why most of the videos would be at night as we start. This is the Lhotse face, and it's about 1,000-meter ascent up on an ice wall. And this is where we start using oxygen. After 7,400 meters, the oxygen level drops down to about less than 60%, and it becomes really tough to breathe. So climbing up there, it's like literally everything. So a 1 kilo would feel like a 10 kilo up there. So this is called the death zone. This is the summit. I was freezing up there. So I was saying that I made it to the summit.
When you have an obstacle in front of you, how do you face it?
I'll give you an example. For example, passing through those ladders on Everest, so there's those huge crevasses, and there's a ladder, and this ladder I can see is shaking, but I have to do it, and I have to change my mindset. And I looked at them, I'm like, if they're on the other side and they did it, there is no reason for me not to do it. So no, definitely, always use positivity and always use self-talk. Self-talk is the most precious thing we have as humans. You convince yourself, and you allow yourself. Most of the things around us are illusions. They're not obstacles, they're just illusions. We create the obstacles, but we overcome them as well.